Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for another transfer news show. Lots to get into, lots to discuss in and around Chelsea. We are still keeping active in the market as it feels we have supposedly signed some more young talents to the team in the likes of Pedro Lima. We've got Chalobah news, we've got Gallagher news, we've got Duran to talk about today as well. We've got Alfie Gilchrist, we've got Sterling. We've got Fofana and Colwill. We've got a bit on Maresca. We've got a bit of everything going on right now, guys, to be going through today. Make sure you're smashing the like, subscribing if you're new to the channel as well. Lots to get into, lots to talk on as well. Share it out, guys, as well. Do me a favor. Make sure you're sharing it out as well. And let's cue that intro. People, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for another transfer news show on Chelsea Football Club. We are keeping busy. There is stuff still going on and we are still trying to keep you up to speed. Even though the speed might not be as quick, we are still keeping you up to speed. And anything, like we said, that does break, we'll be coming back to you guys. Guys, we've got over 60 odd people in the building right now. Nearly 100 people in the building. Make sure you're hitting them likes, guys. Just get the likes up, the thumbs, please, if you can. Nearly 100 people now. Keep tapping the screens and share it out. Share it out. Let's say hello to people in the building. Lots to get into and discuss, guys. Someone please tell me he's not our main striker for next season. Well, this is the thing. The Duran hype. Some people are really annoyed. Others are saying, well, hang on. Duran, I think we need to take a step back. We need to see, understand, is he actually worth it? Is he a good signing? How can he be? Some of these questions can't be answered, and we're going to talk about that and in a bit more detail very, very shortly as well. Leo, how you doing, man? Big up to you. Good to see you as well. Adele, what you saying? Jonathan as well. How are you? Sean in the building. Big up. Hope you're good. I'm good, bro. Good to see you as well. Who else we got here? Brody. He's not that bad. There is worse out there, is what he says. Well, he is Premier League experience as well. Hamsham, good to see you as well, guys. Guys, keep smashing the likes if you can. Get the likes up. We got over 100 people in the building. We've got lots to get into as well. We are going to continue to bring you any breaking news that comes out in the next hour and a half or so. So sit back, relax, tune in. Do you know what? I'm just going to get into the funny thing. Robert De Zerbi, make sure you are smashing the likes, people, please. Yes, Don, big up to you. Don, are you around today? If you're around, you can join me. If you're around, you can join me for this transfer discussions. Let's hope he can perform. Well, listen, this is the thing. And I know we have people that like to look into data on individuals, people that don't give players chances because they're Aston Villa and haven't kicked ball enough. But then there's also context to the situation as well, and that's what we've got to look at. Duran is a better striker off the ball, off Jackson, and wouldn't be surprised if he scores more next season. There you go. Some people feel that he's a better striker. He's a cleaner striker. I say clean shooter on the ball than Jackson. That's for sure. Does that mean that he's more clinical than Jackson? He's on calls, G. All right, no worries, Don. All good, bro. I sincerely hope Connor doesn't go to Tottenham. Well, we're going to talk about Conor Gallagher as well. We don't need a lot of players cornering in as well, is what Eddie's saying. All right, come on, let's get into it. Well, I want to quickly talk about away from Chelsea news, but kind of funny because we were linked to him. Robert De Zerbi and Marseille are set to agree on every detail of the 3-year contract as the new head coach. Final step needed. OM to seal the deal with Brighton on a €6 million exit fee. De Zerbi's clause reduced from €15 million to €6 million when he left. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So he's gone from being linked to Chelsea to being linked to Man United to now finding himself in the French league with Marseille. That is very interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Hey, big up Joey in the building. What you saying, my boy? I'm just in the wait to see mode. Yes. Mikey, he's a clever player, pulls defenses apart for us. See, some people seem very happy about Duran, and this is why I wanted to talk to you guys about it. How happy are we? We're going to talk about Duran a bit later in the show, guys. We're going to go through the details and the info and what we have as well. But this news in and around Robert De Zerbi is is quite weird, really, for me, because he's gone from being in the Premier League to now being in the French League. He'll be managing Marseille by the looks of it as well. Good luck to him. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but we'll see how that thing goes on. So, have Chelsea signed any other players since tossing? Well, it looks like it. Chelsea have prepared Pedro Lima deal with Strasbourg, Brazilian right back expected to join the French league from Sport Recife. An agreement on personal terms, working on final details between club to be sealed in the next few days. Strasbourg move with a view to the CFC future. Well, listen, and people want to know, like, what are we doing with the model at Strasbourg? Well, it's quite obvious. Sign these young players, get them playing in more of a competitive environment, Strasbourg. Strasbourg benefit from it because they're now inheriting these like young, talented individuals who they then put into their teams and, put into the team, which is interesting. And if they can gain experience playing, which they will start, these players, like we saw with Santos last season at Strasbourg in that second half, and then improved, and they improve and they adapt and they start to grow into how they are going to be, then they will be given the opportunity to come back to the football club. If they don't get a chance of being able to get into Chelsea's first team, then they get sold for profit. And by then, they might be very good individual. You might have the likes of a Premier League team looking at them, a Spanish team looking at them. And this is what we're doing right now. Now, Pedro Lima, we don't know a lot about. I don't really know much about him. But, however, what he has been touted as is the Brazilian Cafu. The Brazilian Cafu. And in all fairness, these are players that we're signing for the future, guys. Like, this ain't all about the now. I think they are working for the future and they are spending money on these players for a reason. And when you look at the most recent news that's just come out minutes ago on Pedro Lima, this is about 10, 15 minutes ago, more on Pedro Lima deal for Chelsea at Strasbourg. Final fee will be 7.5 million euros, guaranteed to Sporting Recife, plus 3 million future add-ons for 2006 born Brazilian right back. Documents were reviewed this week with his agent in London and then deal sealed. So there you go. Another right back that we have signed to the club, for the future. Who knows if Reece James is going to be able to stay fit for the next up and coming seasons? Who knows if we're not going to sell eventually? Who knows if we need to start preparing for the future, which is what they're doing, obviously, with these signings. But he has talent and quality. What I have seen about him is he's very... Jem saying Brazilian Cafu. Cafu is already Brazilian. Yeah, but he's the up-and-coming Regan of the Brazilian Cafu is what they're saying. Very alike is what I meant in their ways. Very aggressive on the ball. I watched parts of little bits of his game. Very aggressive, very quick, gets up and down the pitch, comfortable on the ball, shows good ability for his age. Yes, he needs development. Yes, he's going to need a bit of time to come into himself and whoever it is that he's going to be in the future. But, sending him to Strasbourg is fine. Has to play Strasbourg. He can't get a work permit to play. Oh, fine. I'm cool with that. He's not for the now. These players are not for the now anyway. So let them go. Let them go and get experience. Let's see what they're about. If they're good enough for the future, they come straight back into this team and we don't have to keep going out and buying players. So we buy players that are young on the hope that they develop into these real top quality young players that are able to just come into our team. Market value increases because then it would maybe go up to 40 million for him if he progresses through these periods, and then we're in a good position. Either way, he comes into the team, or he doesn't come into the team, and we sell him, or we loan him. Probably sell eventually, and this is why they're buying so many young players. I really do think that's the model for them. It's about how they can make profit on young individuals if they don't break into the Chelsea team at a later stage, and that's what they're doing. Soon the entire Chelsea team will be Brazilian team. All right, moving away from Pedro Lima, we are going to move on to Alfie Gilchrist, one that has actually played and started for the team. Ben Jacobs has mentioned that Leeds, Preston, Blackburn Rovers have all registered some interest in Alfie Gilchrist on the loan. I feel Alfie's in a good position to go on a loan. I don't, he was with us and he's played in the first team and he gives us an option. But I do think he does need a loan. I think he needs more game time and I think he needs to play. And I think going to a championship team would give him that time. We'll give him that time to kick on. You know, I'm all down for that. No one should be really annoyed about it. I think it makes a lot of sense. Effectively, it makes more sense to do that. So, you know, crack on. Let him go. Let's see what offers we get. Put him on a loan and see how he goes on, you know, at a later stage. But I'm cool with Alfie Gilchrist going on a loan. The next bit of news. Have you realised how many midfielders and defenders Chelsea have? It's disgusted me. They still want to sign more. I'm tired of hearing about the incomings rather than the outgoings. Brother, we've not even started yet. No offence, but the transfer market's not opens tomorrow. Transfer market's not even open yet, bro. They're organising themselves. There's nothing wrong with being ahead of the game. Maybe they just, and this is the thing that was really, which was made clear, is that apparently we want to get things done earlier, so that when it comes to pre-season mid-July, or is it the third week of July, some players, all right, maybe at Euros, but others will be ready to come in and he can start working with them. A majority of our squad's at home. There's only a handful of players that are actually out to Copa America or in Euros. So it makes a lot of sense why they're trying to maybe pre-plan themselves, organise themselves, get things done. I ain't got no problem with that. I have no problem with that. And plus, the transfer window doesn't open until tomorrow. Chelsea, there is no guarantee Trevoh Chalobah will leave Chelsea. Chalobah is content at Stamford Bridge and will only leave for a club with European football. The Chelsea value him at 25 million. I still don't think he goes for 25. I really don't. I think he's probably going to look around 30. And the truth is, Chalobah don't have to leave. You know, effectively, if no one comes in for him or offers the right amount, or he's a club that he wants to play for, he don't have to leave because he's in a 4-year contract still. So at the end of the day, I'm more than happy for him to stay. We should want him to stay. He brings experience. People go, how? Because he's not 35 years old. No, he's been playing in the Premier League for this football club long enough. He's showing confidence in how he's been playing, the calmness, that everything. I think he would suit the Maresca ball as well. I really do. I think Chalobah should be kept. I think a player like Chalobah should even be staying. And if we don't get a good offer for him and he doesn't like what's on the table, then fine. You know what I mean? Guys, 15 minutes in, 200 people in the building. Hit the likes, guys. Please hit the thumbs. Keep continuing to get the thumbs up. We want to try and get this over 100 likes on each channel, please, guys. If we can do that, really helps the channel. Do you remember what I said to you about GNA TV? They've not monetized us, which means we're literally live with no support right now. Well, the only support that we can get right now is everyone hitting the like buttons and sharing it out and growing it in that way. So that's where we are effectively at the moment. Keep Chalobah. I think we should keep Chalobah. But we have to see what happens when the market opens. And now there's news coming in around Raheem Sterling, one player that's been spoken about a lot again as well. The Chelsea hierarchy have made it clear that Raheem Sterling, that he is not in their long-term plans, but he does not want to leave. Sterling's name has come up with Palace during conversations for Olise, whilst West Ham are believed to keep tabs. Well, there you go. This is the problem. This guy is not going to want to leave because he's on 300k a week. We probably want to shift him long-term because he costs too much. So why did we give this guy a 300k a week deal at the beginning of signing him? That falls on Bowley. That falls on Egbally because they're the only ones that are around that made this decision. They were the sporting directors. They were the owners. They were everything. They got rid of everyone. Yeah, Tuchel was around as well. Maybe Tuchel wanted him. I don't know. But to pay him 300k a week, I know you're looking at it, you're thinking you got yourself an experienced player, someone that's played for Man City, works out. But now you've got a problem because he ain't going to go anywhere for a cut, which means he's going to stay. And I'm not overly disheartened about him staying, but I don't know. It's a tough one, right? He ain't going to go, guys. No one's going to pay his wages. Could we go through each player who should stay, go, or loan? We've done that, actually. Did we do that already? I'm not too sure if we did. Maybe we can organise a show for that. Chesmeister, maybe. Sterling gone. Chelsea don't need players coming in, but just to get a good striker, that's all. Osimhen is good for us. Never Chelsea make mistakes to sell Chalobah and Conor Gallagher for them to regret. Listen, I think Conor Gallagher might go personally. Chalobah, I think, is more up in the air. I could be wrong. Could be the other way around. We're not going to sign Osimhen. I'm not saying that we won't go back in for him, but I don't think we're going to sign Osimhen on that basis. Guys, over 250 people in the building. What we're saying, guys, how are you? Tuchel wanted him as well. Chalobah got pretty low headers. One lad's about 48% compared to Tosin 6%. So he ain't dominant in the air, which is bad for a centre-back. Not really. Not really. Not in my opinion. He doesn't have to be fully dominant in the air. He's very good with the ball at his feet. Reads the game well. Thiago Silva wasn't the tallest in the air. Tallest. You know, like, I don't know about that one. I'm here again. Disassi and Badishil should rather be the ones to be disposed. I agree with that. Not going to lie. Steve, welcome. Good to see you. No one else will pay Sterling's wages, and that's the issue. Who's going to pay Raheem Sterling's wages for him to leave? And this is why he's saying, listen, I might not be a part of your plans, but I ain't leaving. You're paying me 300k a week? Yeah, come on. I'm going to run that contract down until someone comes and offers maybe the same or a bit less. I don't know. But they ain't going to leave for half. No way in hell is this man going to leave for half the price. It's just not happening. So it's one of them, guys. It's one of them. Big up, Rossan. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Subsidise the wages. I don't know. So we've got a little bit more news in around defenders. Now, the expectation is Wesley Fofana and Colwill will be the go-to pairing for Chelsea, but Abdiara Bio, Tosin, I'm assuming that is, has moved on the premise of the game time. Abdara Bi, I can't even say his name. Why didn't you just write Tosin? Has moved on the premise of game time. Maresca is understood to have no issues fielding the two or left-footed centre-backs together. Okay, well, that's going to be interesting because guess what? For Fofana to be able to play, he needs to stay fit. And to stay fit is harder for him to then play because man can't stay fit for crap. Man's got twig legs, stick legs. Colwill, on the other hand, got one big sore toe and we didn't see him for 3 months. So these men need to sort themselves out. If you ain't playing them two, then it probably will be Tosin and probably whoever next to him. Badiashile, Chalobah. I don't know. Like whoever ends up being it. But effectively, should the two pairings be Colwill and Fofana? Yeah, that's a strong pairing on paper. I still think it's out there. I still think the questions are out there on Colwill and Fofana. Some of you are probably sold on this being our best pair, but I still have my question marks about them both. I thought Fofana before he got injured was very poor. Before he got injured, yeah, he had very good leadership qualities and he showed moments and stuff. Yeah, and I agree. Better to keep him fit than not have him at all. But and there is a talent there, but you know his performance levels are a bit meh. Colwill's been playing left back most of the time, and I've not liked it. He is better on a left central back position. He's more comfortable. But again, is he going to take control of that position and say it's mine? Is yet to be seen. So I'm not fully sold on any of our defenders. I'm glad Sterling playing hardball. It ain't his fault. These clowns. Yeah, I agree. He's not injury prone. Fofana has had 2 horrible injuries. Mash. He has played a quarter of a season in 2. We're going into the 3rd season now. A quarter of a season in 2 seasons that he's been here. We're going into a 3rd one. How? And he cost us nearly 70 million. Was it more than that? How much did we sign Fofana for? Chelsea sign Fofana. Wesley Fofana. He signed a 6-year contract. And the deal was worth up to 75 million, guys. The deal goes up to 75 million. We've got a 75 million pound defender that we've only just seen a handful of times. On the right back situation, love Reece James, but Phil Gusto has to play. Can we fit James in midfield? No, I just think we need to rotate, Picho. Why can't we just rotate them? You know, I don't think James can play every game next season. Use Gusto. The quality levels are there. We don't go from taking James out of the team like this. Now it's like this, you know, or like that. And it's close, you know? And I like that. I like that. Fon is very unlucky for the injury. It's harsh to criticise him. Yeah, but I'm sorry. Availability is key, guys. We can't sit here going, oh, yeah, but we can't worry. It's not his fault he got injured. He's been here for 2 seasons. We've had him for a quarter. Now, this is his final season for me. If man can't stay fit and at least play 25 to 30 games, at least, which he should be, this season, then we've got to get rid of him. To waste the money. I'm sorry. It is what it is. We can't be having players in the team that are not available. Yeah, fine. That's all good, Mash. But guess what? We paid 75 million for that. We paid 75 million for that. What are people not understanding? If finally gets another big injury, just write him. I agree. I'm sorry. He has to go. We can't have him here if he can't stay fit. And if we can get a bit of market value in him and get 40 million or whatever for him, 45, maybe 45 million for an injured Fofana, then I'll take it. Like, we can't keep just, oh yeah, no, it's not. We just need him. No, I need players available. I don't care about their qualities. The qualities are not on display when they're on the when they're recovering all the time. Same with Chile. It should be sold. I'll be quite honest with you. He's even on the bridges of it for me. I think we should sell him. I think we need a new left back because he ain't the same anymore. Yeah, Poch is training, of course, 100%. And this is why Maresca is going to be key because Maresca, on the other hand, has kept 2 players in Leicester who are injury prone fit for a full season. Whether that's rotation or whether that's just because of how we play under him, we're gonna see. We're going to see. So Fofana, Reece James, these players that aren't available most of the time, I want to see you fit. I want to see you, you know. You don't think Fofana's better than Tosin? Interesting. I think Tosin's going to be interesting. I really do. For free as well. You know, for free as well. It's going to be interesting. Guys, make sure you're hitting the likes. We've got 250 people in the building. If you're not hitting the likes, what are we doing, guys? We should be over 100 likes if we can across all channels. We've got 120 people on Chelsea Fan TV, nearly 100 people on GNA TV. Hit the thumbs, guys. Please hit the thumbs. And nearly 100 people on Twitter watching as well. Big up to every single one of you in the building. Right. Let's talk a little bit more before we go into Duran. We've got Duran, we've got Gallagher. We've got a lot to get into still. Let's talk about this. And we're going to continue bringing breaking news. And we've got the panels coming in soon as well. Latest on Levi Colwill. Seriously not for sale stance is firm with Colwill valued by Chelsea's leadership. We believe he's a leader. But Colwill wants some guarantees from Maresca. How true that is, we don't know. No approach for the summer from PSG. Bayern aware of the position. And then you go from that to the article, which is sitting here. And the article goes by saying, Levi Colwill, let's close this off. Levi Colwill plans face-to-face talks with Maresca as he looks for guarantees that he will be starting. So this is what annoys me a little bit with these comments. Right? Why would you go and talk to a new manager and say, I need to start or I'm leaving? Like, if this is true, it don't make no sense. You know you've got competition. If you want to be at the club, play, show on the training pitch, on the training ground. Show your value. And when you get your chances, take your chances. Show yourself as a leader. Why should you be guaranteed? He shouldn't be guaranteed. I don't care if he's Levi Colwill. He shouldn't be guaranteed to start at Chelsea. No. Show it. Because none of these defenders at the back deserve that respect from me. None of these defenders at the back deserve any of that. I'm better than that one and I should be starting. None of them. None of them. I'm sorry. The Blues will dismiss any others of the 21-year-olds who is contracted to 2029 with a club other option. Colwill made 32 appearances in all competitions last season under Pochettino and was used as a left-back in early part. Centre-back is not only his preferred position, but one he is far more comfortable in. Yeah, we know that as fans, but that was on Poch. Thiago Silva departing from Fluminense. Chelsea have plenty of centre-backs at the club. Tosin has arrived on a free transfer with his height, set-piece threat and ball-playing skills all of appeal. I agree. Tosin's in to play. And there's no guarantee Chalobah will depart. With Chelsea wanting 25 million, but Chalobah is content we know that. Fofana will be fit next season after recovering from an ACL. Badishu and Disasi season centre-back partners from their time in Monaco are also at the club. And there's also Alfie Gilchrist.
AXA Insurance. Good choice. Future you will thank you. Big time. Back in good health, you will be eternally
Where's that coming from?
Oh dear. Other card did.
What the hell? That caught me well off guard. Maresca is understood to have no issues fielding two right or left-footed centre-backs together. Fine. Interesting. The competition for places is naturally a welcome headache for new Chelsea coach, but one of the first tasks will be to reassure Colwill of his role. Chelsea's leaderships feel they did this 12 months ago. They value Colwill extremely highly, so there's no suggestions that they will entertain bids. We're not going to entertain bids. Yeah, Colwill, I don't know how Colwill's not even, well, to be fair, he's not fit. So, but he should be in the team. But he's still, again, not played well enough to be in the team. Colwill realises he needs a strong season to force his way back into England's setup. 12 mere months ago, he had come off the back of an outstanding loan spell at Brighton and was called one of the best centre-backs. After Colwill, who reportedly earns 100,000 according to Cavalier, was under 21 euros in Georgia with England that summer and impressed throughout. Blah 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 blah. Levi Colwill's numbers: 23 appearances, 2.1 in tackle, 1.1 interceptions, 83.4% in pass succession. Not the greatest. But then he had a toe injury that left him sidelined for 11 games, and we know about that. Yes. Yeah. So, Colwill, if you want your position, mate, you need to earn it. You need to earn it, man. I'm sorry, none of these defenders can come in and tell me, or should be telling the new coach or the board that they should be starting. I should be starting. I'm Colwill. I'm Fofana. No, you're in a team. And if he came to me and he said that to me, I'm not saying he has. He probably hasn't even said this. Don't see it. But if he did, yeah, I'd be straight up. I'd be like, listen, I'm the boss. You get on the training ground and you show me what you're about. But to be quite frankly, be honest with you, Colwill, none of you at the back have played amazing last season for your club. And I want to see these attributes that you guys have. I want you guys to fight, not fight, but I want you guys to challenge for each other. You've got enough defenders at this club. And I want you to show me why you are the man. Show me on the pitch and the training ground what you can do, mate. Don't tell me that you should be playing. Show me. I should be the Chelsea guy. I should be the Chelsea manager. I would deal with these guys. I would. I'd skid on my knees every time we scored as well. Proper Chelsea. I'd run up the other end of the pitch and skid on my knees and do this. I'd be like, proper Chelsea. My club. And I'd get rid of all of the players that we don't want. I would tell the ball, sell him. Get rid of him, he's crap. This is what we need. This is what we need. Poch tax. So, what is one of Enzo Maresca's targets for this season? First target by the board is to qualify for the Champions League. No shock. Listen, he's not even been here one season and the same targets are being given. And I feel that Poch had the same targets. Not going to lie. But if you keep this squad fit, if we keep this squad fit and available with potentials of maybe adding one or two more players, at least say maybe a striker. We'll talk about the striker in a minute. Why should we not be challenging for Champions League? We should be. In fact, we were 5 points off getting Champions League in one of our worst seasons under Poch. 5 points. Now, and we was that bad. So, to be quite honest with you, it just goes to show how bad this league is. Because everyone's temperamental. Everyone's not really that good. They talk about this league being the best league in the world. Well, we had one of our worst seasons and we've pretty much finished sixth, barring Man United winning the FA Cup. And we were 5 points off. And Man United and Newcastle were above us for most of the season. Like, come on, man. Come on. Big J Anson, what you saying? How are you, bro? I'll take 2 million for Cole in a heartbeat. He's good. Nothing special to the eye. I hear that. He can't wait to concentrate on defending in the box. People should stop making some of these players feel so important when they can easily ask for moves the next day. Players are the first to make themselves happy before anything. Well, people should stop making some of these players feel so important. Yeah, I agree with that. When they can easily ask for moves the next day, players are there to first make themselves happy before anything else. Make yourself happy. Play for the club. Play for the club and show the club. Show us. Now, let's talk about Gallagher. We're going to get the panel in a second as well. Well, apparently, under the Time Sports, Tottenham are expected to... One second. Let me have a quick look at this. I've just seen Fabrizio. Tottenham, it says there. You can see it. Twitter. Let's see what Fabrizio's saying. Hearing, what's this? Makes me laugh when people say Olise's done and stuff. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's no Fabrizio news. I thought there was some Fabrizio news for us. There isn't. I just see someone say Olise's done, Duran's next, but I don't believe that. Until I hear someone say it's done, I don't listen to anyone. Tottenham are expected to push for Conor Gallagher. Spurs also face competition from Villa for Gallagher, who has 1 year left on his contract. Listen, he's in more of a see you later position than Chalobah. He's on 1 year. He's got 1 year left. These lot have got a chance to sign him for 40, 50 odd million now. Chelsea haven't organised a contract with him. He's going to go. Unless we offer him a contract. Chalobah, on the other hand, is on a 4 year contract still left. And doesn't have to go anywhere because he's still got 4 years, really. So who should be really going out the door first, in my opinion? Gallagher. It'd be interesting. It will be interesting. I'm actually quite interested to see Tosin. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. Is he going to enhance his game now that he's a part of a better team, playing with better players? And we're going to start seeing it. Remember, he came from Man City, guys. He originally came from Man City. So Gallagher could be on his way out still. The transfer window opens tomorrow. I think by the end of this month, we're going to get a real good idea of what's going on, who's going, who's staying, what's going on, even with the Euros. The issue you've got with people like Gallagher is they're playing in their countries, so you can't really do too much. You still talk, agents can still talk and organise it, but in terms of actually moving forward with it, a lot of it's an issue because the players are over there. So we have to see with Gallagher, and we'll keep you up posted. But what about this Jhon Duran news? This is what I want to talk about now, guys. Jhon Duran to Chelsea. Fabrizio Romano says that Chelsea keep working on the Duran deal. Not only the name, but the most concrete option, as the new direct contacts also were made on Wednesday. Duran wants Chelsea, but all parties, including Aston Villa and players' side, are still discussing the terms of the deal. Nothing done yet. However, it seems very appealing that we could potentially be signing Aston Villa's second striker. And when you talk about this guy, and there's been an uproar. I understand it. You're signing the second striker of Aston Villa to be in the team. Why are we doing that? We were meant to be signing someone that's meant to be a bit more clinical or a bit more experienced or whatever. But there's a couple of things that we have to take into consideration with Jhon Duran. One, he was never going to get in front of Ollie Watkins because Ollie Watkins, let's just be serious, has had the best season that he's had in a Villa shirt. So he had next to no chance of replacing Ollie Watkins in that period of time. So he didn't see a lot of game time. True. He was the second striker there, but against a top striker. It's Ollie Watkins. Do you know what I mean? People need to understand that. Secondly, he is still young. Does he suit the reams of where we're going as a club? Does he? Again, young, still quite raw. Is he a better striker of the ball from what I've seen in Jackson? Yes. Yes, he is. He is. Have we seen enough of him to determine how good his overall game is to be able to come to Chelsea? No. 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 So I think it's one of them ones. He's 20 years old. He's still very young. He fits the young profile. He fits the raw talent profile. He fits the whole can he be developed around better players profile. He fits the idea of what we're trying to do again. Plus, he's Premier League proven slightly because he's played Premier League. He's played God knows how many games. We'd have to have a look. What attributes does he have? Well, clean shooter of a ball. I actually think he's a better finisher than Jackson from what I've seen. Is he better at doing all of the other bits? Holding the ball, carrying the ball, linking play? I think we need to see more of it. To be quite honest with you, I'm not too sure on that front. But he gives you the second option. And he is someone like Jackson that's on their way on developing. They're on the development train. So for me, the big thing with him is how much we sign him for. Because there's talks about 40 million plus, which I think is ridiculous. Then I've heard 25 million plus, which makes more sense. If you can get him for 25 million and add add-ons and get him for, I don't know, 30 odd million, just say with add-ons, fine. To be quite honest with you. So I read something yesterday that Duran and Alvarez are in play to sign both. Well, that would be interesting. Because then you've got 3 strikers. You know, one that is a bit ahead of the other 2, Jackson and Duran. I don't know. I don't know why we would sign Duran if we're getting Alvarez. So I don't know. That don't make much sense to me. So there's pros and cons to this, yes. The cons are we don't know what to expect. We've not seen enough. There's not enough proof in the pudding. But this all goes down to data, analytics that they're using, profile, and if he suits what Maresca wants. And if this is what Maresca wants, because Maresca might be looking and go, that's the guy. This is the guy that we're going to put up front that's going to be banging in the goals for us. We just need to develop him a bit more around the players we have. Maybe. I feel this is more of a decision from the sporting directors. He is a physical monster. He's a clean shooter. He is. He scored some very good goals. I like that about him. There are some good parts to his game. You know, and at the beginning I was like, what are we doing? Like, why are we doing that? Like, again, just random strikers. Like, you know, what are we doing? But then you have to look into it a bit more and try and understand it. I'm not saying it's the right decision still, because it could be an absolute waste of money. This could be a Batshuayi 2.0, potentially. But you have to look at why maybe we'd be looking and does he suit what we're doing? Does he fit the reams, the project, the things? He does. He does. I just don't know about his all-round game. My biggest question mark with him is just his all-round game. What can we expect from Duran? How much are we signing for? What can we get from him specifically? You know, and it's just like, it's just the sample size. It's the sample size for me. It's just the sample size. He scored in the last minute. And this is what I'm saying. He's a clean striker. Clean striker of the ball. Yes. He's young, 20 years old. He's on the development train as the same as Jackson. So they can both maybe rotate and be developed. He might be what Maresca wants. He might suit the system that we play. He would be created more, which means would he score more? We don't know because he hasn't played enough. Can he do all of the things that needs to be done as a striker in a Maresca system, the overall? So not just being a clean striker in front of goal and being grateful. Is he good enough to be the striker? Maybe not. Maybe that's where he works on it. Maybe that's what we will see next season if we sign him. Maybe. So there's a lot of question marks around it. But it does suit. The biggest thing in all of this is it does suit the project. It does. It suits the project. And you have to back the scouts. This is what they think might be the guy. This is the decision they're going down. We're going to have to see. Show us. Like I keep saying all the time, show us. Sporty scouts, and they've been on this kid for a while. They clearly really like him. Yeah. There must be something about him. He's got that like Diego Costa way about him as well. I've seen he's a bit aggressive. He gives it, At the same time, I've seen him do some really stupid things. And I'm just like, but then that's just his age. So can he improve and develop into what we need him to be? Can he be a 20, 30 million striker to a 70, 80, 90 million striker at Chelsea? That's what we'll be aiming for. And the same with Jackson, because this doesn't deter Jackson. This, if anything, allows Jackson to have competition. And that's what they're doing. Let's develop both. Let's rotate them, but let's give him a chance and let's push him. Now Jackson's got to be on his A game all the time. Jackson last season was just walking into the team. We had no striker. We do need a striker. So Duran coming in, young, hungry like him, wanting to develop, wanting to show he's the man. Why not? Show us. I want competition. I want competition. But I also think it's important we sign the right profile, the right individual still, even if they're young. And that's my biggest question mark. There's not enough sample size of him. Physically, clean striker, yes, all of them things. How good really is he, though? How good really is he? That's the question. When he starts playing 20 games a season, 25 games a season, is he that good? That's the real question mark for me. I need to pick in the chat. Let me do that quickly for the boys. Couch links in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this over to Josh as well, because I know he might want to come in and have his say about this. I want to get thoughts and opinions. There we go. Josh, let's go. On Twitter, Josh. And let's get Duran fits the profile. Okay. Okay. And listen, I'm not too annoyed with any of them. Any of the fans that think he's good enough or think he's bad enough. I'm not annoyed with any of them because they might not be wrong. But where I sit with it is, yes, I can see it, why we would go for someone like this in what we're trying to do. But it's the sample size. It's how actually really good is he? Can he be better? Will he be developed? Is he good enough to play 20, 30 games a season? Or is he just a sub? Is he just someone that you just bring on and he has an impact? Which is still effective. Don't get me wrong, and it will help us if he's winning games for us and he comes on 60 minutes and scores a goal or two and we win the game. Yeah, different. But then if he starts games and he's not effective, then you start thinking to yourself, is he a main striker? Or is he just someone you just bring off the bench? These are the things I need answers. These are the things that we need answers on, you know? People want to pay 65 million for Sesko, who would have been a sub. Would he have been a sub though, Keyshawn? I don't think so. I think he would have offered options. You know, that I don't see. Can you check his injury record? We can check his injury record. And why I'm doing that, and I'm sure Couch has been listening to my spew about Duran and my thoughts on it. Big up Couch, as always, in the building.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Because I've not spoke to you yet about this, and it'd be quite interesting to know what you think. But what is your thoughts on the idea of Duran coming into Chelsea? Like, did you hear what I said thoroughly about him myself?
Yeah, I mean, it's no different from what anyone else says, right? Like, we don't know much about this guy, right? Like, I think one of the key pieces here is that we just have to get in a position where we just trust what the scouts are doing. If you like the players that they've been bringing in the last year and a half or so, then you have to give them the space and time and maybe even apply once and twice to make selections for this club that we may not know a lot about. Like the whole, from what I gather, what this scouting department, what these directors are trying to do is to identify targets, identify players who they think are just on the cusp of becoming that next player. Like last year, you guys remember last year I was all over Olise. I wanted Olise. And it's not because of what he did the season before, which was quite good. It's because I knew that he was getting ready to make that next jump in his evolution. And I felt like that's where the directors were thinking as well. Like we're looking for players that may not be the household name now, but come to Chelsea and make their name at Chelsea. And this could be another example of that. I'm not really worried about the injuries. I think that this guy obviously has characteristics that are appealing to us as Chelsea supporters, us as as a squad. Like we need guys that are physical, strong, can run. He's obviously very good in the air. When you look at his the duels that he wins, he's a combative type striker. The problem that we all have right now is that this is not a sure shot deal. There's no guarantees that this guy's going to come in and be the striker that we want him to be, bang in 15, 20 goals for us, and I'm of the opinion as well that this type of signing is more about challenging Jackson, challenging our striker room rather than displacing our striker room, right? It's about giving people healthy competition and matching the level that they're at as well, so that they can continue to push each other to get better. I'm a firm believer that if we would have went for somebody like Osimhen, and if Osimhen comes in and he doesn't hit the ground running, he's struggling for the first couple months of the season, we're forced to play him game after game after game, despite him not being what we need in that moment, or him not really adjusted to the way we want to play. The reason why you do that is because you don't want to lose on the investment. You need to continue to play and play and play and play, force feed a guy that may not be working within the system because you just spent 100 million pounds on him. And I think that if you bring in a striker that is complementary to what we have in Jackson, what we may have in Nkunku, gives you something a little bit different. You have options that, when you're presented a game where, teams are playing, very physically, have a low block, and, you need somebody that can give you a little bit more of an aerial presence, be a little bit more physical, take up, occupy defenders. You have that. You can have that in somebody like Duran. Whereas, with Jackson, you don't necessarily get those similar characteristics, right? Like he's a guy that likes to, link up, play and spin in behind and whatnot. So again, I'm all for having like a variety of attributes in our striker room, like where strikers can give you different things for different games, rather than looking for strikers that give you the exact same thing. Okay, well you need plan B is what I'm saying, and maybe this is what they're looking for in somebody like Jhon Duran. And it was the same reason why I wanted Sescu. I think that Sescu gives you something different.
Yeah, and I think it's not a massive sample size. I agree. I don't know how good his overall game is because we haven't seen enough of it. And you can see he's a clean striker of the ball. You can see that there's qualities in him. He's strong. He looks like someone that can be physical. He's got a bit of pace behind him, as well. He looks quick. I watched him running behind. He looks pretty speedy as well, which is good. He just fits the whole project, doesn't he? Really and truly, it's the whole development side of it. It's like it's just.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be real. I'm not quite sure if I haven't seen enough of his footwork and his link up ability to say that he's a good fit for the project. I just think that he gives us something that we don't have right now. Big up Nomadic. I'm not 100% on board with this. I can't say for you're really fishing, man. You're really fishing to get demonetized or like kicked off permanently. This guy's with his footage, man. I'm telling you, that's how they get you.
Now we're all right with this one because there's no label, but we're good.
All right. But yeah. So for me, I'm not sure if he definitely is a clean striker of the ball. That much is evident in the little clips that we have. I'm not sure if he's one that can drop deep, link up play. Be a guy that can
he looks all right
occupy
there.
two. Well, definitely. And for his age, what is he, just 20 right now? Like for his age, he's clearly shown that he can use his body effectively. And that to me for young strikers is massive. Like you're still growing. He's still growing physically as of right now. So the fact that he's already shown the ability to use his body, ward off defenders, spin in behind, use his physicality is obviously, fantastic to see at this age. But
The
there's
variety of
other
finishing.
aspects of the game.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
other aspects of this game that I'm not quite sure of yet in terms of like whether or not this is a Maresca signing. And I don't think that, to be honest with you, I don't think that there are Maresca signings anymore. He's the coach. The directors and the scouts have their own opinions about what players they want, and Maresca's just gonna have to find players, use the players that we provided to him, and find roles for them within his setup. That's it.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed in all of this so far is he holds the ball up very well. Like he like you said, he uses his body well. Like he knows he's strong. Like he's not getting bullied off the ball by anyone. Like he's confident, and I like the idea he shoots. He's just got it in his head to just take a shot.
Oh, he definitely shoots. He definitely shoots.
Yeah.
I don't know about his shot
maybe
selection. Maybe a bit too much, to be honest. Like I don't know if his shot selection is always on point. I'd rather him be a little bit more methodical with when he decides to take shots and whatnot. But there's no denying that. Like I said yesterday on Don's stream that I don't mind strikers shooting because for the most part you kind of want your team to fashion the final ball for your striker anyways. So if he's shot happy, it's because you're trying to build attacks to the point where he's getting on the end of them. But I mean, there's sometimes when you see him in midfield, like trying to let off a shot, and it's just like, bro, that's not a quality opportunity. Like you shouldn't be taking that opportunity right now. Like what I mean? Like that's a great finish. Like.
That is. I agree. There's just things that maybe we're not fully sure on yet, which we're going to have to wait and see. And it's going to be interesting because I applied to tweet. Is there some tweets coming out? All right. While I look for the tweets, let's get Josh involved. Josh, Duran to Chelsea. What you saying, bro? How are you?
What's up, guys? Yeah, I mean, it seems to be shaping up that way. I mean, I'd say just real quick, I think the clear difference for me between him and Jackson is that he is a clear striker. He's a striker. This, like Jackson, there's maybe a little bit of flexibility there position-wise. He may actually be able to play a bit more wing. He may be able, maybe he'll play a little bit of 10. He has a couple of different skill sets. Duran, to me, he screams striker. This guy, like Couch said, strikers strike the ball. That's what they do. If he sees a shot, if he sees an opportunity to get the ball a goal, he's going to take a strike. I do like that kind of stuff. That's stuff that I think we've lacked in the last couple of years. And shots are good things. If they're on target, they can lead to rebounds, second chances, things like that. So I'm not totally against that either. But for me, I think he's a clear. We know his position. He's going to play up top. That seems to be what he is really good at, or what he is most comfortable doing. So I'm on the same boat as everyone else. We don't know enough about this guy to say like, oh yeah, he's going to come in and absolutely kill for us. But I like his profile because he is an actual striker, and I think that is something that we've missed. I think Jackson does a really good job. He did a good job this year of sort of filling in that role and playing that role, but he also, I think, has a different skill set than Duran, and I'd be interested to see us with an actual striker, what we look like.
I think the overall question of it all is how many of the Jackson chances last season would Duran convert? Would he have converted a lot more of the Jackson missed chances? That maybe they're the intricate things that will be interesting because we will be creating a lot next season.
Or create for himself, Jem, instead of maybe where Jackson might have looked to pass the ball or looked to try to play a 1-2, Duran takes a shot and maybe he gets, maybe that turns into a goal opportunity for us. Or
I don't know
different.
I just don't really know how we were. I'm all down for the challenge. I think we needed to strike 100%. Is it going to be more of a rotation, or is it going to be, well, you're leading because you're the best in form and you're going to start more games, and the other one's going to kind of like have to work his way back in? Like, this is what I'm more intrigued to see with Maresca. Like, how does he manage it, if that makes sense? Because there's going to be challenges.
Like again, Jem, that's where a signing like this also maybe helps your team, because now Maresca can play the most informed guy, because there's no pressure to like have to play it. Like if Osimhen comes in for 100 million, right? Regardless of form, he's got to play.
Yeah,
I mean, and now if you bring in maybe a more realistic competitor to Jackson, now the two of them can go at it, and Maresca can play the best one because there's no real pressure there to pay the high price striker. Even Sesko coming in for 60 million, there's going to be some pressure to play him regardless of form, because even at 60 million, that's 25 million more than Jackson costs, right? It's a significant amount of money. So if they do get Duran in for a similar price that they got Jackson, and say he's between 30 and 40, you know, that's way more. That takes a lot of pressure off the manager to have to play this guy right away. He can play the most informed guy, the guy who's working the hardest for the team, doing the best job for the team, and not have to answer to board members and fans of, why aren't you playing this guy? We paid all this money for this guy. Play that guy. It's like, no, well, they cost similar money. They cost similar fees. We're going to let the best player play, and hopefully you found a gem here. You know, that's the idea.
You found a me. Find a me. That's what you need to find, man. Find a me, and you'll be all right. Needs someone for Jackson to learn off, not another young and proven striker to battle against. Well, you'd be quite surprised having two young individuals in their development phases trying to like show that they're the man can be a good thing sometimes, but it's just, will it work? You know, like, will it be a good thing? Just quickly, Olise. News on Olise that we've had in. Obviously, people said bring up the Pies tweet is a Mirror exclusive. Chelsea have made contact with Crystal Palace over Olise. It goes on to say that Olise wants to play Champions League, but Chelsea are hoping to still a march on rivals, which includes Arsenal, Liverpool, and City as well. So again, not really much, but been told that we've actually spoke to Palace. I wonder what the outcome was on that, or maybe we'll find out later on from maybe a Fabrizio or an Ornstein or something. But I do think with this Olise one, whatever happens, it'll be done before July.
What makes you say that?
Number one, the market opens tomorrow.
Okay.
Number two, I think a lot of the works, if we are to get him, I think a lot of the work's been done already, because the way we get him is by beating, like they said, they're beating the others to it. And I don't think the Uniteds and that are all been in a position to approach him. And I think it's about just getting it done. If we haven't, then I don't think we're going to get him personally.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think that Crystal Palace are in any rush to sell. If they're going to wait for offers, they can wait as long as they want. You know, like wait until United's ready to negotiate. Wait until City's ready to negotiate. Like, I don't think it's going to be as simple as like, well, we come with the first offer, so first come, first serve. No.
Yeah, but if we meet their what they want, then what have they got to hold?
Well, I mean, any club that has a player that is of interest in an Olise isn't gonna just sit on the first offer. They're going to be using that and playing it off of each other. It's not too dissimilar than what we've seen last year with Caicedo. You know, Caicedo and Liverpool. You know, like
but Caps,
two teams
the player played a main role in that, right? You know,
but we don't know what the player wants though at this point.
Sure.
We really don't know, right? And we all knew, even at the time, Caicedo, everyone he turned down Liverpool to come to Chelsea, and it still took time to get that deal done. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be as simple as he wanted Chelsea, and it still took. Look how long it took. You know, look how long it took. Look where the offers came in, and look where it ended up. You know, so
well, there's a couple positives to this report, right? Catch the fact that this was the requested first step by Palace, right? Contact us first, right? Which we probably didn't do. Obviously, I'm sure we have obviously talked to Olise, but you know, in the public to Crystal Palace, that's all that matters. And this is what we did in public. We reached out to Palace first and foremost, right? So that's a big step to me in our favor. We've clearly publicly made a step to reach out to them. I do think if the player makes it clear that he's open, it wants to go join Chelsea, then Palace will take the fee that they want for him, or if he has a release clause, they'll accept to where he wants to go. But yeah, we don't know where he wants to go, but I think when you're talking about a transfer like this with a player of his caliber and his notoriety, like he will, at the end of the day, he will be the one that ultimately makes the decision on where he plays next year. So hopefully that's good news for us. But First step was to reach out to Palace, and
I'm
we
not so
seem to
sure
have done
about
that.
that.
I
I'm not so sure
just
about
don't
that.
think that all these clubs are interested in him. I'll be quite honest with you. I would be shocked if it was just us at the moment. Like, I'll be quite honest with you. Like, just getting on with it and trying to get it done. But we've got a super chat here. Big up to Martian. He says it will be interesting to see how he develops in the end. Within the next 2-3 years, the directors will look like the smartest in the room or fools. One of the two. And that's for facts. Yeah. Big up to you with the donation. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you. We have got some more news that's come out as well, but it's back to Duran for a second. We'll come back to Olise in a second. In Duran, we've had the comment from Times Sports saying that Aston Villa are asking for 40 million in talks with Chelsea over Duran. So we know that Villa and Chelsea are speaking currently at the moment. That's been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano that that's the case. It might be, the stumbling block might be at the moment just the fee. And listen, guys, 40 million, is that a lot of money for him? I think so, personally. If you want my honest opinion.
Not if they can break it out. Not if they can break it out. I actually wouldn't be mad with like between 30 and 40 if they can pay it over, say, 3 or 4 years. It makes it not nearly as much of a problem for us financially. Like if Villa are like insisting that they have, it doesn't sound like there's a release clause, so it sounds like a fee they just want. So if they're not, if they're saying we have to have 40 in a lump sum, that's a little different. But if they're willing to take 40 over, 3 or 4 years, I think
3 or 4 years. So you say
maybe 2 or 3 years. I'm just like throwing out a
dude,
payment plan on it,
Yeah. I don't know. First of all, the amortization kicks in on the length of the contract, right? So I don't think that what we pay for him is, or what we negotiate with Aston Villa is as relative or as relevant as how long his deal is, because it's how long that is amortized over the length of the contract. So yeah, 5 years, sure, 40 million, not that bad when you consider. Yeah, it is a little high, but again, if our scouts are doing their due diligence and whatnot, and they've basically outlined somebody that they think could be, a big time striker, the next 2-3 years from now, then it's a snip, right? 40 million ain't nothing, right?
Nothing.
And I think that what we're talking about here, and the reason why people are, I don't know about this guy, is because number one, we don't know anything, and second of all, everyone thinks that we're ready to compete right now. I don't necessarily think that we are. We got a new manager coming in. We got a bunch of young players that are just coming off of, different types of seasons. We haven't had, a healthy squad in a number of years right now. We're still in the development stage, as much as I hate to admit it. Even after all the windows that we've been through and whatnot, we're not quite at the, the city, the city level. I won't even mention the other teams, but we're just not there yet. And our next hurdle is to basically crack top 4. That's what we want to be. That's a position we want to be in next year. The next step in our evolution as a football club.
Throw Gallagher in and get Duran. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that will happen. I don't tend to see them things happening, but you never know.
Well, they just did one, but I don't think it sounds like Gallagher. It sounds like Gallagher is more likely to stay than go at this point, right?
Fab's retweet Olise, Jim. Oh, we got a retweet of it.
I think the 40 million, it only sounds high if you look at it in terms of if it was a release clause that you had to pay all at once, then it finally kind of feels like a lot. But yeah, I mean, Couch is spot on. Over the course of a contract, 40 million is really pennies for a player, especially if he turns out. So yeah, I think it's a relatively low risk, high reward type of deal. I think he's only 20 years old. I think he's already Colombia's. Is he Colombia's number 1 already?
No.
Who's Colombia's striker?
I can't remember the name, but he's definitely the second choice striker right now.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know anything about Colombia, but I think relatively low risk, high reward kind of stuff here for that price. And who knows, it could end up being a little bit less than 40. I mean, it doesn't sound, again, this is a release clause situation, so.
I've not teased us. When people do this, this is the thing. Yeah, we're going to keep flying in between Duran and Olise at the moment, because that seems to be what's going on at the moment. But he's retweeted the comment from Pies about Chelsea really appreciate Michael Olise. We will return to the Olise case in the next couple of days, and he's retweeted it just now. So people are saying, "Oh my god, he's retweeted it."
Yeah, so they're working together, is what you're saying.
He's retweeting himself.
Sounds like
this is Pies retweeting Fabrizio retweeting Pies
Exactly.
retweeting Fabrizio. It's like, people are like, oh man, Pies got retweeted by Fabrizio. Yeah, because he retweeted his own tweet. Like, what do you? He's just trying to get himself out there more.
Oh, listen, it is one of them, guys. We've got 400 people in the building right now. Big up to every single one of you guys in the building. As always, make sure that you're slapping the likes, guys. If you're not, hit the like button. We should be over 100 likes on both channels right now. Let's get it done, guys. I've got 200 people on Chelsea Fan TV, over 100 on GNA, over 100 on Twitter as well, tuning in and watching. Guys, big up to every single one of you in the building. We are breaking, but just bringing you news that is being feeded in at the moment in around Olise, a little bit on Duran as well. These are the two things that are popping up at the moment. Now we're back to the Olise talk again.
Mm-hmm.
How confident are you, Couch? This is your guy, man. This is your boy. Like, how confident are you that we will get this done? Is what I want to know. Like, do you think Chelsea are going to do it? Yeah.
I've been saying, and I don't think that my stance has changed on this since we've been talking about this. We certainly have the March just because we've shown interest last year, and the fact that we knew of his release clause being 35 million. And him having already accepted our terms back then, we were right at the cusp of signing him last year. I think that gives us the advantage over our competitors because we've already worked out, what it is he wants. We've already worked out, the agent and all that stuff. And now it's just a matter of like appeasing, Crystal Palace, which will be challenging. Keep in mind, they were ready to basically expose us for tapping up because there's no reason why we would have known about the release clause had we not, tapped him up. Right. So there is that. And I'm sure they're going to be waiting. They're going to be waiting till the very last cent is negotiated amongst the rivals. They're going to be trying to get as high an offers as possible. And even when it comes to Chelsea, it's not just about getting the release clause. It's about trying to get the pay over the release clause so we don't have to pay that money right away, right? So we don't want to have 60 million coming off the books right away. We want to be able to have that amortized over the length of the contract. So often what happens in that case is you basically, you negotiate over the release clause so you can get your own terms. So yeah, there's still some work to be done here. I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that, like, yeah, tomorrow is going to be the day, we're going to get this thing done. No chance in hell, because if there is offers coming from other teams, it's basically going to be the one that best suits, the needs of Crystal Palace.
Things are happening.
We will see. We will see.
Things are happening. I am going to agree. I think things are happening at the moment. I think there is things going on with Olise right now.
I think it's important to remember that, like, Crystal Palace, they could accept 5 bids for Olise. It doesn't really matter. I mean, Brighton accepted Liverpool's bid for Caicedo. Like, it does. The clubs can accept a bid, any bid for however much money that any club pays. If Olise says I'm not going to Man City, he's not going to go to Man City, regardless if they offer Palace 500 million. It's this kind of player in this situation with this contract, with him having a release clause, he will 100% make the decision on where he plays his football next year. So I'm really hoping that Chelsea have done their due diligence, which we clearly saw last year. Like Couch said, he had agreed to our contract terms last year, which he would have known what that looks like already. They probably approached him with a really similar offer. I don't know if they sweetened it maybe a little, but yeah, I mean, Michael Olise will make the decision on where he plays football next year. So hopefully, again, Chelsea are in a good position with him. You guys got to be optimistic about that and see where it plays out. But I wouldn't get like super shocked if other clubs are looking at him. Obviously, he's a really good player. So, but again, we'll see where he wants to play. Hopefully, it's with us, and that we'll find out.
I think we would have got him last season if it wasn't for Palace. To be quite honest with you.
Oh well, yeah, I think that. I mean, again, didn't he get a "Here we go"? Wasn't that a "Here we go" from Fab? Like, I don't know if I swear there was something where like, yeah, Chelsea agreed terms, or it's this is already there was a big what's about him.
Oh no, it was very much done. It was very much done until Crystal Palace sat down with Olise, and basically it was revealed that point that we basically he breached the terms of his contract, right? Like it's most of the confidentiality, right? So so that's basically what happened.
To me, I can't see a whole lot having changed from last year to this year if he really wanted to be here. I mean, even again, we don't. It'll happen if it happens. I feel like we're in pretty good position with him, but I couldn't give you a date on this is going to happen before July. I don't know enough about that. If they did want to break out his contract over a certain amount of time, those kind of things do take time to work out. How much is paid up top? What's the rest broken out over to Palace? And those are kind of things that take a little bit of time. But hopefully this sounds like at least a transfer that will get settled probably sooner in the window than later. So
I think it's going to be soon. I was saying
I'm not saying tomorrow, but probably sooner in the window than this. I don't see this being a transfer that's going to drag out late into the transfer window.
I think I keep saying it. If I'm wrong, I said by the end of June, beginning of July. I think it's going to be around that period. It could even be sooner. It could be next week. Who knows?
So you're obviously getting tapped up by your boy Pius. Something he's telling you something. I would caution on that. I don't think it's going to be as soon as you think.
That's not on the basis that anyone's told me anything. By the way, I'm just going on what. See, with me, I kind of feed off what I read and what I see, and then what I see from Fabrizio or Ormsted, and I try and make an image of for myself of where it feels like it's going. And at the moment, it does feel like it's heating up a lot with him. And listen, we might be surprised by the end of the week, beginning of next week. It might be Man United have put a bid in for Olise to match Chelsea and all this, that, and the other. And it wouldn't shock me. Don't get me wrong if they do, but I just think we are very ruthless. And the way that this ownership has been recently, it feels like when we want something done, we 9 times out of 10 seem to get it. People don't seem to stick in our way.
But let's look at the history then. So Enzo Fernandez, we went in at the beginning of the window, didn't get him, had to go back at the end of the window.
Got it done.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, we're competing against ourselves, and we paid 105 million, right?
Okay, well then let's talk about Mudryk.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
wait. We can switch that though. Because look at the Mudryk one where we went over, where they flew over to his camp and pretty much put him on the plane and brought him back when he was going to Arsenal. That's a good example. Yeah, the Caicedo one. Because
what about the Caicedo one? It took forever. What are you talking about?
No, but we know. But it did take forever. You're right. Originally, it did take forever. But even the Lavia thing, because he was
Liverpool's took forever.
Target. No, that didn't. He was Liverpool's target most of the season. He wasn't our target. What? Caicedo was our target. Lavia came in later.
Jen? You're forgetting that I followed the Lavia story from time, right?
No, but we were in for Lavia.
Remember this the window, the summer window before. Was it when Potter came in? I'm not sure. Was it with Tuchel? We were in for Lavia, and everyone was like, "Oh, we should get Wilson Alvarez or whatever that guy." And we put in a £50 million bid then, didn't get it done, right? And then we came back again. Then this is the following summer again. We already had the march on everyone at that point.
But Caicedo was always the main target at that point. So it was, yes, we wanted maybe Lavia, but you got to bear in mind, Liverpool were the ones that were being touted to get him for so long. And then I don't
know about that. I never thought that way.
No, but they did, because they switched from Lavia to Caicedo. That's what they did.
Switched from Lavia to Caicedo. So why did they switch from Lavia to Caicedo?
That's what they did later on. That's what they did.
The way I remember it is that both clubs were we were obviously after Caicedo. They came in for Caicedo. We got Caicedo. They switched to go in for Lavia. We said, actually, what?
But we already had a deal done for Lavia. Exactly. We already had a deal done for Lavia.
We may have already had a deal, but we went as soon as we got Caicedo wrapped up and Liverpool went after Lavia. We said, I think we'll take that, brother, too. We'll have us a little Lavia on the side, too, bro.
Lavia was Liverpool's main target. This is what I'm saying to you guys. Caicedo was
Lavia was not Liverpool's main target. They spent the whole summer negotiating for Caicedo. What are you talking about?
No, they did not. They did not. They were trying to negotiate with Lavia. I remember the whole situation.
So how did
because they couldn't get the fee sorted. The fee that was put forward for them, they didn't want to pay it. You remember
they definitely
forward for him. And
were they looking for both at the time? Were they looking for both?
Probably, but they were going actively for Lavia because they put a 40-odd. I can't remember what it was. They put a bid forward that wasn't enough. Do you remember? And then they just got kicked out for it. So what I'm saying to you is, that was in the periods of us trying to go for Caicedo, and then they jumped on the Caicedo bandwagon. We then went and back and forwards and got it done, and we thought, you know what, bun you. We're going to take Lavia off you as well. And then we won and got Lavia. That's what we done.
Again, I'm not gonna claim to know. I remember at the time they were in for both, for sure, as we were in for both. And the talk about going back and forth or whatever, regardless. The point is,
we got them both. We got them both. I mean,
they came for Caicedo the last minute.
They put in a bid that pretty much nearly got him. That they came in aggressively when they could have done that for Lavia, but they didn't. They just put whatever they put down.
No. So they came in for Caicedo the last minute. Is that what you guys are suggesting here?
Later, after we weren't getting it done, they went to Brighton and then put an offer forward that Brighton accepted. They didn't accept our offer; they accepted.
Okay, so
that's what happened.
I don't. Regardless, it doesn't change my point. The point is, it takes a long time to get these deals done. Okay, simple as that.
So. Not always.
Okay, so what happened with Caicedo then? How did we let Liverpool get in?
That did take longer. But we had problems with Brighton. That was the Brighton problem, if you remember. The whole process was to do with Brighton.
It's called negotiating.
Caicedo, was it?
We will see. We shall see. Okay, we shall see.
We got an Ormstein. Is it all going off? Let's go. Come on, Ormstein. Please tell me it's a good Ormstein.
That we reached out to Palace, because I've seen that a couple of places now.
All I'm saying
Chelsea
is
contact Crystal Palace about signing Michael Olise. Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's just the same. But so at least we know that a report is official.
All these thinking of other people's reports now. Surely not. Chelsea's contact Chelsea. Yeah. Chelsea contact for Crystal Palace about signing Olise. Expressed interest in the 20-year-old winger, but plus requested permission to talk with reps. Deals include 60. That tells me that it's moving. I'm not going to lie. Other clubs are retaining strong interest. That
looks like the Mirror broke that. So that's good.
They've just confirmed it. They've for Ormstein to do that.
The Athletic confirmed the Mirror story. It looks like so. Yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
Okay, cool. So they're working together. Maybe I don't know. Or maybe they're just confirming what's been said.
Just confirming stories. These guys don't hate each other. Not all of them hate each other. They're working together. That report broke. Ornstein's probably like, oh shit, someone got a story broke before me. Let me go check. Oh shit, it's true. Okay. Here's the confirm. And they gave him a little love. He confirmed it.
It's all about clicks.
Yeah, listen, they'll
help each other. Ornstein's gone into a bit more detail about it from Pius, because Pius has obviously read the article. He says this. Chelsea have asked for permission on Thursday afternoon to speak to Olise's representatives with the hope of agreeing personal terms.
Okay, so we already had the word that he had already agreed to some personal. This is just silly to me. Unless it's pen to paper, I don't care. To be honest, this is just
of course. But that's we all agree
wrong. But this is like on these little crumbs that they keep throwing at you. Oh, now we're about to talk to him about our personal terms. Like we already negotiated personal terms with the guy last summer. Like what are we talking about here? You know.
Apparently, Man United apparently have a limited budget to work with, which makes it hard for him on the Olise.
Counts to me. This is all just sort of like this is for Crystal Palace's ego a bit, to stroke their ego in the media a bit here. We're following their rules. They wanted us to reach out. We did that. We asked them if we can negotiate. That's what we're doing. Obviously, that shit's been done with us already. We've talked to this kid already. So they're just trying to placate Palace. Hey, we did what you asked. We reached out to you first. We want to talk to him. Is that okay?
Yeah.
We're going to take him. You're still going to get your money. No big deal.
It's about it is. Listen, every story it involves not just Chelsea, but obviously because we are Chelsea fans, we see a lot more of it. But every story has its whole fantasy storyline to it, where it's never just like Man City when they sign someone. Yeah, Man City have just spent 100 million on signing Grealish. Yeah, where did that come from? Yeah, done. Like Chelsea's always seems to get dragged out like a story tale of how it's going and what's happening and this, that, and the other. It's just it's funny. It's funny. It's just funny that Ormstein's coming out with it now. So he's throwing it out there.
But what is he saying? What is he saying that we didn't know?
Let's go to Fabrizio, shall we? After all,
so Fabrizio's feeding off of Ornstein and whatever the
Let's go and have a look.
It's the same thing, man.
Fabrizio time. Come on in, Fabrizio. What are you saying now? Fabrizio is saying Chelsea have approached Crystal Palace today to ask about further details on Michael Olise's release clause. He's among top target for Chelsea again, as CFC asked for permission to talk with player side. Race still open with several clubs keen. Chelsea are now pushing. So we just accelerating more than others. It's all this
dagger, man. The dagger right there, man. Oh my goodness, man. What a dagger.
The dagger.
Here we go, baby.
I can't wait to see what Olise says when they talk to him about terms finally. That should be interesting.
Oh, it's all going off. It's all going off, guys. Fab just said nothing. Fab just recycled what Ornstein just said to clarify it. This is what he's done. Fab's just, joined the bandwagon because
all these guys are in coordination with each other, man. It's part of the game.
There you go, guys. We are bringing you breaking news, which is not much news as of now.
Hey, don't get it twisted. Like it's getting my blood going. Like I love seeing this stuff still. Like it's designed to get me like excited, and it's doing that because you know how I feel about this cat, man. Like I've been talking about this guy for more than a year now. More than a year, and
it's okay to not be over the top, Couch. You can be calm about this and let it play out.
I'm very calm.
That's the smart thing to do. You don't want to put all your chips on either side. I feel the same way. I just feel very good about where Chelsea are with him in terms of him personally, because I think last year we did this groundwork already. So, and again, it doesn't necessarily mean he comes here, but the fact that his brother signed a new contract, he does have family here. It would make a lot
London,
of sense.
Man. Like he's a London kid, man. He ain't trying to go to Manchester, man.
They always do that. They
don't
just go to Chelsea. They say other clubs are keen because there is other clubs that have an interest, but people can have an interest. Having an interest and actually doing something about it's two different things. That's the difference.
He's also a young French player, which we have lots of young French guys in our team. There's probably a certain comfortability level with that too. I know a lot of these guys. I play with them at the national level. Like, that doesn't hurt us either.
I mean, he's actually more English than he is French, to be honest.
Yeah, sure. But he plays. Listen, he could play either place, but is with France. He is with a lot of these young guys at international level. So he didn't just sign with France. Did he? He's been with France for quite some time now, right?
No, he declared for France as a youth for sure. But like, he's English. Like, yeah, he's English to me. I don't know.
Truly, seems to be a lot more. There's a lot more, like you were saying. There's more of a at the moment on the whole Olise thing right now, which tells me all Chelsea have probably done is upped it up and just said, you know what? Rather than sitting and being interested like the others, we're going to try and find out a bit more about this now, which could mean one or two things. It could be that we are now serious and we're going to get it done and we're in a position to just roll it through, or we just want to know what the finer details are, and we want to see if we can get them agreed. But ultimately, I don't think the personal terms are going to be an issue with him. I just think it's the club again. It's just getting them to agree whatever the fee is that we're going to agree. Because are we going to give him 60 million? Probably. But how are we going to construct it? Probably with a 50 million. With a 10 million add-ons or saying, and they're going to go, no, we want the full 60 million, not the 50 plus 10. This, and you get them 10s if Chelsea get Champions League football or win a trophy or this, that, and the other, like they do, which is how they do things. But
yeah, I think it's got to be attainable. They're going to have to be attainable bonuses. That's what you're mulling over. Like if it's like, okay, if he makes like 20 appearances, then we get an extra whatever, like. It's just however it breaks down. And like, to be honest with you, those types of incentives and whatnot, those incentive-laden contracts, probably going to be important for a guy that's had like 2 fairly serious like hamstring injuries, you make sure that that's written into the contract. If he doesn't perform or play X amount of games, then you ain't getting this, you know what I mean? Because we already know about his injury record. It's not extensive, and I'm a firm believer that young players, 20, 21, still growing into their body. Hamstring injuries are common because the hamstrings take longer to stretch, right? It's a big muscle. So, as their bones are stretching and their hamstrings are stretching and whatnot, those things go off the top often. So, I'm not really concerned about his future going forward, like his injury record going forward, but it's something that you still have to be wary of. That was without doubt,
100%.
So
100%, yeah. It's one of them, innit? And now it's all about Olise and the news that's been coming out on Olise. And we just have to wait and see what goes on from here and what's next. I expect the next bit of news to be personal terms agreed, because we've been told they're not agreed. and then maybe
back to the clubs. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's back to the clubs, and then it will be eventually, which could be 2 weeks' time. It could be well past what I said and into July. Chelsea have put a figure forward of X amount, which Palace have turned down or whatever. I don't fucking know. So we'll just have to see. But we'll see. We will see. It's going to be an interesting one, this. But I do think we have to be aggressive with this one, and we do need to just get it done. Like, just don't muck around, because if you allow a Man City or a Man United or whoever to then enter the frame, because remember, the window actually actively opens tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first day of the window. So maybe these clubs are just sitting back going, why are we even rushing? Like, let's just wait. Nothing's going on. And we'll just start, we'll start imposing in July or something. I don't know. But can Chelsea be aggressive? Can Chelsea be quick on it and get him to agree and get them to agree and just sign it off? Hopefully. Fingers crossed, because I think that's what we're going to need to do. With Duran, I just think with Duran, it's the fee. Right now, I think we're probably happy to have him. He definitely wants Chelsea. He wanted Chelsea in January. So, it's just about, will we get the fee structure right with him? That could take a bit of time, So
I'm not sure that's going to take. If I had my choice between the two, I would say that the Duran deal probably gets finalized before the Olise one.
Yeah, no, not
because
saying one or the other, but I'm just saying the process might take a bit of time.
They'll be very close. They'll be very close, but
we already had a deal for Duran in January, right?
Yeah.
And Duran, it was because he got injured. He would have failed his medical if we would have went in all the way. I think from what I hear, and again, this is just little bits of information. He's not really getting on at Aston Villa. Like he's a very confident guy. He wants to be the guy that is getting minutes, and because they have what's his face there,
Watkins
there, Ollie Watkins there, he's not being given the opportunities to show what he can do on enough of a regular basis. So apparently, from what I hear, is in training, he's not really one that is about the team as much as he is about just just being a disruption. So I'm sure that they're happy to get rid of him. If they can get 40 mil for him, they'll be like, yo, let's make this happen. We've already doubled our investment at this point in time. So, and not to mention the fact that they need money to comply with PSR.
Do we have a comment here from Sam Phillips just saying, just remember, Michael Olise already agreed personal terms with Chelsea last summer. Briefing things out usually means it's further along. Let's hope. And he's saying he feels like it's probably further along in the way that it's been mentioned to us. It usually is, and people need to remember this. The news that we get now is probably yesterday's news or the day before's news. They're probably at another stage now with the club. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe making decisions. Right. I believe it. I do believe that. I do think that is the case. So we're always 2 steps behind, guys, when it comes to being fed news. Didn't all our transfers fail for their medicals? What's declared Gallagher about? Declared. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else, really. We've got more from Ornstein on the Athletic, but I don't think I can open up the article. If I can open the article, let's have a quick look. The striker deal with Chris before attempting to agree terms with the Olise camp. So basically, he's saying Chelsea are trying to attempt to strike a deal with the club before they agree the personal terms with Olise. Maybe because they know that it's not going to be an issue.
Maybe they did that. Maybe they did that already. Maybe that's Palace giving us the okay to talk to him means that they kind of agreed on a number for the player. That could be possible too, but they just didn't announce that. Because if Palace are saying, "Hey, we want to know a number before we give you permission to talk to him," maybe they already are cool on a number. Now you can go speak to the player, and then maybe it went that way. I mean, it's hard to say, but it might. We'd find out, I guess, the speed of the deal. If it happens fast, maybe it happened that way. Maybe they happened with the club first, and then the player side.
Yeah, his comment here is other clubs, including Man United, Man City, and Newcastle, retain strong interest in the playmaker. So maybe it is what Couch says. Maybe it's a case that they're going to, as Palace, maybe they're going to sit back and go, "Oh, we know."
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, maybe that could be a case. We have to wait and see.
Michael said, "I don't want to go to those clubs." That would be the only reason, right?
I don't see him going Newcastle. No offense.
I mean, they would certainly, and it would be in his agent's best interest to sit down with all those clubs and figure out what's best for Michael after the fact.
The only one club that he should be going over us is Man City, I think, personally.
If his aim was financial, then yes, Couch, I would agree. If his aim is different, then maybe he has made up his mind already. If his aim is purely financial, there's definitely other places he could go get more money.
There's so many more factors involved than just the money thing. Like,
yeah, right.
There's tons, and his agent, if he's doing his job, is listening to every offer that comes in for his player, without question. Like that's just what they do. So I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's going to happen really, really quickly. But I could be wrong too. I don't know. I'm a firm believer that like if they're doing their due diligence, they're taking their time.
It's hard to say. Listen, some guys hire agents because they just want to go to one club. It's like, get me to this club. There are guys who do that. If he really just wanted to be at Chelsea and he told his agent, get me to Chelsea, do the deal with Chelsea, then, as an agent, he did his best job to get him the best deal with Chelsea. But if the player says that's where I want to go, then that's probably what his agent did for him. But yeah, we'll find out real quick the speed of this deal, how it happened. If it happened with Palace first and then the player, it might be a fast deal. If it's reversed, maybe it takes a few extra weeks with the clubs. But
and it's not just, again, it goes down. It's not just the release clause. We have to negotiate the terms of the contract, so we can basically amortize that more effectively. If we pay the release clause, that comes off the books immediately. So keep in mind that what Chelsea are going to try and do is negotiate terms that make it more conducive for them to pay it over, a period of time, and that will take some time as well.
Sure.
What I've been told. Just reading something. Okay, interesting. Eze will be a target if Alvarez leaves. That's the report from City. He'll be a good player for you guys, to be fair. I'm not going to lie. Fab just tweeted about Olise. Yep, we've just read that. I'm assuming it's the same one, Fred, that you're talking about. I don't think there's any more. They don't usually tend to do more than one tweet in the space of the whole day, maybe one in the evening. I don't know. Maybe we should be feeling a lot more confident about this, And as Skolberg just said now, he just said, the reason we didn't get him last year was because of the Palace, really, because he agreed to come to Chelsea, personal terms. This year, he feels that the personal terms shouldn't be the issue because, it was the same last year. But he said if we don't get him, and whatever reason we don't end up getting him, this is just on the club. There's no reason why we don't get him, he feels, other than that we just offer
change their mind or something.
Yeah. So he feels that if we don't get it and he goes somewhere else or he stays, it's because the club's fucked it, basically, is what he's saying. That's it. There's no other way.
It's funny. I'm sort of interested to see where we go from here because I feel pretty confident that like Olise and Duran are probably like the two main targets right now that the club are working on. That they feel pretty. I mean, with all the reporting, I'd be interested to see what the next step is. Do you look to maybe move a couple guys on now after you bring in a couple guys? Do you just keep going after different position? That you go after that center back position now, like
Lenny Yoro, man,
where they move, and it's hopefully that's why I want the speed of this to happen done quick. Because I'm interested to see where they go next. What's the next move? Because we do move in a certain amount of silence, and that way we're like not a lot. Obviously, these two targets are public now because I think their deals are pretty far along here. But I'd like to see where they're looking to go next.
What do you mean? Declared says, why did he sign a new contract if he was keen on coming? Because they all do, even if they want to leave.
What?
for an extra $80K a week.
It's just business, mate. If you never know, that's just business. Declared.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? They're not. They were getting ready to like basically sue him for breach of contract on confidentiality for releasing the confidentiality of agreement, and then they came back to him and said, "We'll give you a bumper in your pay if you stay for another year and sign a new contract with a different release clause." Why wouldn't you? I don't know. Like,
it's why Ben Sesko just signed a 1-year extension because he just got an extra like $80K a week or whatever just for doing that 1-year extension.
It's that, and you know what? I know you was just talking about your defender. We're not going to be signing any defenders when we could potentially be keeping Chalobah, and we have Badiashile, and we have Disasi, and we have Fofana, and we have Colwill. We've got like 6.
Yeah. Center back. I totally. It's still that center back position is totally dependent on what they do with Chalobah. If they sell if they sell, obviously they'll go get someone. If they keep, they probably don't need to address it right now. So
how many center backs do we need in rotation? You guys think?
I like two per. Well, it depends if we're playing with 2 or 3. Well, it sounds like we might be playing 3 center backs, just not in a traditional 3 at the back. Say they use Colwill as like a left back, left center back, right? So maybe there's 3 on the pitch. I like to have 2 for each kind of scenario. So ideally, I guess I'd like to have 6 center backs if I could, but
6.
Yeah, that kind of depends on. If we're only playing 2, then maybe you need 4 or 5. But
I'd say
maybe you could
for
do
me
4 in an
personally,
academy kid. But it depends. Sort of depends to me on how many we're actually using on the pitch at once, right?
I think we need 5. I think you do 2 on each
Yeah.
side, and you have 1 centre back that's just very versatile. That can maybe do a bit of both or play off.
Well, you can do 4 in an academy kid, right? So you can do 4 and like an Alfie, not necessarily Alfie, but 4 and somebody like an Alfie. It gives if you need 5, right? You're hoping the other 4 are healthy, so that 5th one's probably not going to play much.
Yeah, that's true, Jay. Maybe we wouldn't have had Cole Palmer. That's another thing. That is true.
So with that said, okay, you got 5 now. Who are your 5?
My 5. Well, this is up for debate.
Everyone's healthy, right, Couch? Everyone's healthy. Can we assume that?
Sure.
Okay.
Everyone's healthy and fit. I would go with Chalobah, Colwill, Fofana, Tosin, and just flick a coin. Just flick a coin on the rest of them.
Fair. All right.
I mean, why? What about you?
Close to the same. I'd go. It's a really tough one, man, because again, I don't think that many of them have separated themselves.
No, I agree, but you got to pick.
Fofana, if healthy, is easily my number 1. I like Chalobah. I wouldn't mind him being in the mix there.
Yeah.
I would take. Well, we already have Tosin. You know he's going to be there. Like
so Tosin's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 3, and then I'd probably go Colwill as 4, and probably Disasi for me.
Disasi. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine would probably shape up something. If we did 5, it'd be Fofana, Tosin, Colwill, Chalo, and probably Badiashile right now because I'd like to have that second left footer.
Oh God, we got another turn.
But to be honest with you, it's not really like it's not a hate thing on Disasi either. That would be more of like a right-footed numbers type of thing for me. I think Chalo's probably better on the ball than he is. And I think Fofana, and I haven't yet to see with Tosin, so that's maybe a bit of a question mark.
What's different about that? New York? What?
It's just all things come out with that comment about Chelsea and this and the other, and then he's just come out with this saying Newcastle and Bayern Munich contact Palace over possibility of signing Olise, expressed interest on Wednesday before Chelsea today. All sought permission to speak with 22-year-old friend.
There you go. There you go. This is exactly what, like a talent like Olise doesn't just walk on to Chelsea first offer. Like it's so obvious.
What is wrong with these guys, man?
It's so obvious, man. Like,
why did he just say that at the beginning?
Did it say that they were granted permission or they sought permission? Because Chelsea were granted permission from what that article said, right?
Contact over possibility of signing. So just spoke to him on the phone, as is permission to speak to both, isn't it? Or the permission to speak to Olise, right?
Also permission to speak with his camp. It doesn't say if they were granted permission, but maybe they were.
Before Chelsea today, so they were in the doors before us. All sought permission to speak with. What the hell is this wrong with these guys, man? I swear, just tell us the full story. Jesus Christ!
What did Fabrizio or Dave? What did they say about Chelsea? Did they say they were granted permission, or they just asked permission?
I think it was asked again, but again,
so similar terms.
Well, yeah. I'm opening up the article now just to see what it says. Athletic reported on Tuesday that interested parties have been advised to strike a deal with Crystal Palace before attempting to agree terms with Olise's camp. Same thing as what Chelsea have been told to do. Bayern Munich and Newcastle have also contacted Palace, while Manchester United and Man City retain strong interest in the player. The 20-year-old came close to completing a move to Chelsea last summer. Blah 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 blah. Then they just recycle the same crap that we don't need to know. So really and truly, all he's just basically said is that on Tuesday, Newcastle and Bayern Munich also spoke to the Crystal Palace about Olise. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah, and there are probably more teams to come. Let's just be real. Like, this is a talented footballer, man. Like, he doesn't just go, okay, well, I'm just going to go to Chelsea and, that's the end of it. Here's your 60 million. See you later. It's much more complicated than that, as far as I'm concerned. And his agent wouldn't be doing his job if he wasn't listening to offers from other clubs. A team, big Bayern's coming for you. You're like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to stay here. Come on, guys. This is going to take a minute, man, unfortunately. And with that said, I don't think we miss. I don't think that I'm not worried about Newcastle. I think that they have to sell before they can buy anyways, right?
Yeah, it's just Bayern Munich, right? But does he want to leave the Premier League and go over there?
He would tear up that league, man. He would tear up that league.
He would with
he's
them
got
anyway.
Champions League.
Oh, he wanted Champions League, didn't he? They will give him Champions League. That's the thing. Joe Shields get this done. This is where we're going to need a Joe Shields speciality. Get in there and just get it done, Joe. We need.
Does he have that relationship with Olise like that though? I know different with the Lavias and the Cole Palmers and.
Apparently so. I don't know what their background are. Why would they have I don't know. Everyone's always mentioned Shields and Olise. I don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe he wanted him. Like maybe he's been one of the ones that have been pressing to get him. But I don't know if they're having a relationship in terms of like personal, where you can speak to him and be like, "Yo, dude, let's put the band back together." Let's put the band back together. Let's go.
See, everyone's already switching. Everyone's already switching to Bayern now. Bayern. Guys, it does actually just say they contacted Palace. They may have just picked up the phone and said, "How much? We've got this," and then put the phone down and go, "Wow, it's too much for us." It basically could have just ended in a quick hello, goodbye. Do you know what I mean? Or it could be. Or it could be that they're like, "Oh, hang on, maybe we will put something in. We're going to get rid of this, and we'll have the funds for it. So if you wait for us, we'll put an offer forward." I don't know. Who knows? Who knows, guys? This is what football's like these days.
No doubt.
I just find it very funny that he bought out 10 minutes or 20 minutes before about Chelsea and agreeing it with Fabrizio and all of them, and then 10 minutes later, Twitter or whatever, he's come out with this comment.
Right.
Like. This is just to show that Chelsea ain't fully in control of the whole situation. That's what I get from it. Yeah, listen, guys, there's going to be interest. Like I said, chat, if we don't get it done, it's on us. That's it. End of. We've got to get it done.
Yeah, especially because we've been negotiating with his camp for probably close to a year now. Like, it certainly is on us if we can't get it done.
It is indeed. And listen, it's going to continue like this as well. So listen, we have given you quite a bit of news today, guys. I've come on at a good day today, by the looks of it. I'm picking my days well.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, we haven't even really jumped in on some of the other stuff, like the Chalobah stuff and Gallagher stuff.
Yeah, I think that stuff we can pick up on when it gets a bit more traction anyway, and we can start seeing what's going on with them. I think the moment we're fixed on the Olise and Duran because of what's going on. We are gonna finish it off anyway. We've got an hour and 45 minutes in. We've got news on Duran, and the news is 40 million. That's what Villa want. That's what we've been told from today. And Chelsea have had conversations with that. With Olise, Chelsea have contacted the club. They are now speaking with the club over the dealings of Olise. They have to get a fee agreed with the club before they're going to go and offer the terms to Olise, probably because that's the easier part of it. Maybe. I don't know for them. So they're just like, do you know what? We ain't got to worry about trying to agree personal. Let's get a deal that suits Palace where they go, okay, we agree. And then we just turn things around quickly. Maybe that's the way we're attacking it. I don't know. And then the striker, where is the striker? The striker's on its way, mate. You're going to have a bit of Jhon Duran. Jhon Duran, the new Didier Drogba / Diego Costa of Chelsea in the next couple of years, mate. You watch. Jim, it's possible to give Palace a player like Angelo or Chalobah. Who knows? I don't think we even do that stuff anymore. Santi JFM. Oh, this is another one of these guys.
Who's this Santi? Why? Who the hell is Santi? Like, is he?
Chelsea is Michael Olise is keen on a move to Chelsea. That's all he said.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Santi. Appreciate that. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? That could be anyone could say that. You know, oh, he's keen on a move to Chelsea. Like, who? Anyway.
I think a lot of the time these guys just say it on the back of just seeing Ormstein's and Fabricio's and others just saying.
Oh, and then it doesn't make it hard for them to build a profile off these bullshit like little tweets. Yeah, you know what I mean? Oh yeah. Remember back in the day I said that he was clean on Chelsea and he signs for Chelsea now. Like, come on now.
Chelsea made contact with Palace regarding the possibility of, at least he's just recycling. The 22-year-old came close to signing last summer. Olise is keen to move to Chelsea. That's what he says.
I'm not feeling any pressure. I've already said I expect him to come, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. You know.
No, and we've still got 460 people here, guys. Listen, if we get any breaking news, yeah, I know we're smashing it at the moment. Really good, guys. But remember, I am unmonetized at the moment by YouTube, which means that I ain't getting pushed out. My channel, GNA TV, guys, is not being pushed out at the moment. So which that basically means is that we have to do the self-promoting ourselves, and I need you guys in the chat to all go and follow this channel. Because we're on the road to 10K. The more that we keep following it, the more we keep sharing, the more that it grows in itself. Listen, the better for us as a platform. We can continue doing what we're doing comfortably and happily as well. And I love being on here with the panel as well. We've got a great panel. I hope you guys like it. And we will be getting in deep and hard when these transfer signings are agreed or not agreed, and giving you our thoughts as always, but giving you as much information as possible on what we think on the news that's being broken, guys, as well. That's what we do here. We're not here to act like we know things. We don't. We're just here to speak.
We don't. That's true. We definitely don't.
We're here to just speak on the things that are being announced and then giving our thoughts on whether we think it's going to happen or not, or what our thoughts are of it. If we, this is what we're here to do, and this is what we're here as fans to do. And this is why you guys are in the chat with us constantly as well. We appreciate having you here, man. Honestly, go and follow Couch Critic. He's his name, guys. Literally, his name.
I'll put it in the chat here. There
it is, man. Couch Critic. If you're not following him, go and follow him. He's another Chelsea supporter. He's got his own Chelsea YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He goes into detail, guys. He goes into details in hand games and stuff. Check it out.
What is this also on? I'm sorry. It's Chelsea TV, Fan TV, right?
Chelsea Fan TV, yeah. As well, yeah. Chelsea Fan TV as well. Guys, we've got 200 and something people on Chelsea Fan TV, 200 people on Twitter, over 100 people on GNA TV. Get these likes up, guys. We should be over 100 likes. Before you leave, everyone hit the fun button. If we get any news tonight, any more break-in where we need to talk, we come on. And that's what we keep doing. We all come on. We are waiting for that break-in so that we can just come into it. I hope it's not tomorrow because I'm on the road all day, which means I will not be able to do a live. So
same with me actually. I'm going
so I hope it's not, because then I can't give it to you as break-ins. But listen, I can't control what we're going to do. Right. So if we don't, you'll hear us just the next day or something like that. We will make sure we're there to talk about whatever's been broken.
Quick question here. So can Olise play on the left? Of course he can play on the left, but if you're buying him at 60 million, you're not going to play him in his not most optimal role. Like, he can play there, and I've actually seen him play there. It's just not. It's not what you want to see him. You want to see him in his most optimal role, right? So that's clearly as off the right or as a number 10. He's played as a number 10 under Hodgson a few times too. So yeah, we have enough players on the left anyways, to be honest. And you don't move a player that you're paying 60 million for out of position at this point in time.
We're actually going to watch Olise and Kunku and Palmer link up. People were putting up all the big gifts already.
Can you imagine though? Like Olise, Palmer, and Kunku. Wow.
They're all fit. Yeah. They're all playing for me. They should all be playing together, building chemistry. And listen, and Kunku's going to be having a field day. The amount of creativity he's going to be getting, he's just got to run.
I mean, he's not. And the thing about that makes him so special is he's not just a finisher. He's a guy that has the vision to play in players as well. You know what I mean? So you put him with guys that also think that way, also are unselfish and look to work with teammates. like a Cole Palmer, like an Olise.
Yeah, it's dangerous, mate. It is
Very dangerous.
dangerous chemistry
Very
of players,
dangerous.
and I look at hopefully it happens, and fingers crossed it does. But then we just got to hope whoever it is that's the striker can also pull it in the back of the net, you know. So we'll have to see.
Oh, here we go, Matt Law now. This one, I'll take something from him. I'll take something from Matt Law because I feel
you like Matt Law, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting because he waffles as well. Let's go, Matt Law.
He's no Ornstein, but like he seems to have. He doesn't really post things unless it's real time to post.
Oh, here we go. He's just recycling as well.
Is he?
Chelsea have made a move for Olise. Sources claim that Olise's 60 million recalls may only be able to be triggered by a Champions League club.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So
he can only be so he can only get released for that price at 60 million if they're in the Champions League, which means we're probably trying to negotiate above the release clause.
Oh, Chelsea. No. Why is that an implication? That makes no sense to me. Why do you have to be... So wait, let me read this again. Chelsea, the release clause may only be able to be triggered by Champions League clubs. So wait a sec. There's 60 million to the Champions League clubs only, is what you're saying?
Apparently.
So wait a sec. What? This is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, who's in the Champions League right now? You have... Did Newcastle get in there? They didn't get in there, right?
Well, yeah, but it's just waffle.
Manchester United didn't get in there. So the only teams that we have to worry about is Bayern, which is still the team that we would have to worry about. And if City go in,
it don't make sense. Yeah. Bayern Munich, Man City are the only clubs that can actually activate it, or Arsenal for 60 million. But Arsenal ain't going to sign him. Let's be serious. No. Man City, Liverpool ain't going to sign him. No way, I don't think. Anyway, Man City, I don't know. I highly doubt it. To be quite honest with you. And
to be honest, we're going to play over the release clause anyways because we wanted to get terms. We want to be able to have that amortized over the length of the contract. So
yeah,
that number is arbitrary for us because we weren't going to trigger the release clause.
I can't see the. I'm trying to find what it says in there because he says it's not as the release clause ain't as simple as people think it is, and I want to know what he means. I want to go. Chelsea, Olise, Duran, Gallagher. He's updated. He's also Chelsea. Maybe triggered. However, the sources claim the release clause may only be able to be triggered by a UCL club. Yeah, we know that. Duran is understood to want to join Chelsea. Yeah, shock. May only be able to be triggered by a champion. Yeah, so what's he saying about Gallagher then? I can't see what they're saying because you got to pay loads of money to see it. We're not willing to pay this. We're not willing to pay this amount. We have checked our target. Aston Villa are asking for 40 million in talks. We know this for Duran. Yes. Trying to see if there's any Matt Law, like people that have read it, have then put it in here. Bear with us, guys. We're trying to keep. Listen, we're still here, trying to give you as much info as possible from what we're reading. Whether it's true or not is another story. But of this case, it's over for us. This is what I'm saying. It goes from Chelsea are talking to him, Chelsea doing this, to then Matt Law saying that. It just now everyone's like, "Oh, it's over." Just relax, guys. Relax. Why aren't Fabrizio?
And to be honest with you, they would have known about if that is a real clause. Chelsea would have known about that anyways.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe.
It's not a worry. Like it's not going to impact how we negotiate our deal. Like our deal was always going to be paying over the release clause anyways, or at least conditions where we can pay it over the course of the length of the contract because we can't just go in and pay 60 million boom like that. We're not in a position to do that right now. So. I'm not worried about that. We've done that with Lavia. We've done that with Caicedo. We've done that with Enzo. All of these deals that we've done the last little while have all been negotiated above what was a presumed release clause. So we'll just have to go with that, and know that what we've done in the last year to basically appeal to Michael Olise is enough to get his signature on the next contract that he signs. Simple and plain. Nothing hard about that.
Yeah, I don't think we need to. I'm just trying to. Chelsea have made. It's 20 million plus Gallagher. Why would we do that
I'd do that.
for Duran?
Oh, for Duran. No, that sounds kind of weird. What? Where are you reading that? Big up Gillett, man. It's been a minute, man.
Someone just commented in Pies 20 million plus Gallagher for Duran. Gallagher 20 million plus Gallagher. So rather than playing 40 million, we give him Gallagher and 20 million. That puts us out of pocket.
Well, how much? You guys spent the entire season like ripping Gallagher, saying he's not worth nothing. You know what I mean? And now, you know, they're valuing him about like 20-25 million. Everyone's like, that's not enough for this guy. Which one is it, man?
Listen, stop sticking up for your homie.
Cal dog, baby, let's go.
Gala dog. Big up couch. Yeah, listen, guys, we are still here, even though we was meant to come off because I was trying to see if there's any more we could hear on the Matt Law article, because usually it gets put up on the Twitter, so I can tell you more in depth what he was talking about. He's just basically saying all I keep seeing is that he's just saying that the 60 million release clause may only be triggered by Champions League clubs. May. It's yeah, we know that.
That's a polite way of saying you can only trigger it if you are in the UCL. You may trigger it if you are in the UCL. Otherwise, you have to pay overs. Oh well. You guys are anyway. I'm not worried about Matt Law. I think Matt Law is pretty much dialed in when it comes to Chelsea stuff. Gets some things wrong, but I don't know a journalist that doesn't. So we just got to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more to it, guys. There was a bit about Duran and Gallagher as well, but nothing really that's being highlighted. The most highlighted thing on the whole article is just that the 60 million in the Champions League calls. That's all I'm hearing.
Well, sorry, with Kendrance, no. If the release for Duran is 40 million, that's what they're asking for, and Chelsea are giving them 20 plus Conor Gallagher, then they're valuing Conor Gallagher at 20 million, not free, right? So I don't know. Seems about the way people were talking about him this year. That seems about what his value is anyway. So what's the problem, right?
Couch man, you are funny. I gotta give it to you. You crack me up. You do crack me up. Listen, guys, there's not much to say other than that news there for you, really. Whether it's true or not, we'll find out. Maybe someone, Fabrizio or Ornstein, will jump on it and confirm. We don't know. We'll see. But we do need to go. 2 hours in, as always. Big love to every single one of you in the building. Lots of news on Olise this afternoon, which we've been highlighting and discussing. It seems like it's going to be heating up, not just only for Chelsea, but Bayern Munich and supposedly Newcastle as well has showed interest. Duran, Chelsea have had conversations with. They still want the 40 million for him. That's probably just Chelsea trying to negotiate that now from now on. Gallagher, there's interest from Spurs and Aston Villa still. We have to see more on what happens with that. Chalobah's still 25 million, but doesn't want to leave. It's still tied to a 4-year contract, which means he doesn't actually have to force a move with a 4-year contract unless it's a place that he wants to go to. So he could still be at the club. That's all we know from now. Plus, we signed that young Brazilian lad, Lima, as well, who is going to Strasbourg on a €7 million fee, I think it was. But we paid for him. I think that's what Fabrizio said. He will be going to Strasbourg and playing the rest of his time there and developing, hopefully, like we saw with Santos. And that's it. That's pretty much everything for Chelsea at the moment now. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep you posted. The Euros start on Friday. Couch, who's winning the Euros?
I'm going to go with, is Qatar in it this year? No, I guess they're not in there. They're not in Europe.
That's World Cup. Euros, man. Euros.
Let's go with Hungary, man. Let's go. Is Hungary in it this year?
Yeah, Hungary in it. Yeah.
Let's go Hungary.
Going for Hungary. I'm going to go with France are the favourites. Probably make it to the final. England.
I was waiting for that. It's coming home, right?
It's coming home. Let's go. It's coming home. It's not coming home. Not with Southgate as manager for sure. Yeah, so England. There you go. We'll go with England and stay positive and finish it off like that. Guys, take care of yourselves. If we get any more news breaking, we'll see you later on. If not, I won't be around tomorrow, but I could be around Saturday, maybe Sunday, most probably. But we'll see what happens though. Usually it quietens over the weekend, doesn't it? We don't really see much going on, and then bang, Monday we'll be straight into things again. So let's see what happens tomorrow. But guys, big up, take care of yourselves. Couch, thank you. See you later, guys.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.